club.
I love
And
it.
joining me in the studio is our guest, Jem. Remember, KCZ is actually Korea Cultural Center. We have a lot of Korea Cultural Center all over the world. So we're sort of doing that here with a twist.
Right.
Right?
We are Kids Culture Club.
Yeah.
Yes, we are sharing the news about kids and living in Korea for families. Yes.
Uh-huh. And how about you? Since we're asking everyone what they want to do, what kind of hobbies they want to pick up, maybe you already are doing something right now. I am back to yoga, so
Oh, great.
I am so glad I'm back to doing something that I really loved doing. So how about you?
Right. Actually, I love the responses. Those are all great. I actually keep a list of this. So, I kind of just, whenever I get inspired, I write down a hobby I'd like to do. And then I
Okay.
keep this list until the new year. And then
Wow.
at the new year, I choose one. So this year, actually, the one I chose to try was belly dancing.
Oh my God, wow, belly dancing, something that I don't even really want to think about. But yeah, I know of a few friends who actually took belly dancing.
Yeah, I was really surprised because I thought, okay, what is the thing I want to do? Belly dancing.
Why belly dancing?
Why belly dancing? I just look so nice, right? And but you know what? It's harder than I thought.
Oh, really?
I thought, you just kind of shake around and it looks, kind of cute, but it's a lot like ballet. You have to hold your posture and kind of keep a good motion. But yeah, I wanted to learn belly dancing, so I just searched a little bit online. There was a belly dancing studio 5 minutes from my house.
Oh, wow, you're so lucky.
You can find anything in Seoul.
Yeah.
And, what you just said in the previous segment, there are actually men who also take belly dancing.
Men taking belly dancing.
They are
Wow.
better than me. I am a beginner, and they are in the intermediate class.
Okay,
So I
wow.
only see them in passing, but I know, oh, yeah, this is even something men could get into if they like dancing.
Yeah, I know. It's quite. I don't know what happened between the time that I attended yoga way back and now that I came back, because there are a lot of men who are actually doing yoga these days, and there are a lot of men doing Pilates as well. So those things, and now you're telling me even belly dancing.
Even belly dancing.
Those things that are supposed to be, limited to women because men are like too shy or, they don't know if they actually could do it. Now
Right.
they're actually, taking the time to and getting the courage to actually learn all of that.
Right, right. I do think it takes a lot of courage. But you mentioned yoga. So for you, this is a hobby that you used to do
I
and you're
used to
coming
do it,
back
yes.
to.
Yeah.
Did you start any particularly new one this year, or is yoga the main focus?
Just yoga, yoga. I think I would want to do something else, but I don't think I will have the energy to actually do that because I'm back to yoga.
Back to yoga.
So
Yeah.
8468 actually said, I would love to learn magic.
Magic.
That would help to bring smiles to people who are so tired from the pandemic and connect them to the place of lighthearted fun wherever they are. Yeah, I wish you learned that. 8468. Learn magic and, maybe you can come over here on Diverse Voices and then show us some magic as well.
Right.
Okay?
on the like the radio stream, you can see it, right?
Yeah, of course.
And kids love that too.
I know. And,
yeah.
of course, this is something that, have you tried belly dancing before?
No, this is totally the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. I do like dancing, but I wanted something that kind of matched me. I'm from Hawaii. I've tried hula. Doesn't look that great when I do it. Yeah.
You're from Hawaii. It's supposed to look great, like Tahitian dance.
And I was just talking with Paul too. I do not play the ukulele either. I'm such a failure. I have a lot of hobbies that I have to pick up, but as you know, we are both mothers too, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes maintaining our own hobbies while raising children can be so hard to do.
Yeah, that is something actually especially for moms like Jem who have really young kids. But, as for me, they're all like grown ups. So, they don't really care what hobby I take, and I don't really have to, look after them as much as I had to when they were younger. So I'm a lot more freer these days. So I should definitely take up a new hobby as well.
Well, a lot of moms wait for that period too. A lot of
Yeah.
mothers and fathers, I should say, because also fathers kind of lack the time to have hobbies. But
Yeah.
in fact, it's actually kind of a new phenomenon in Korea that mothers and fathers try to maintain hobbies
Yeah.
while raising children.
Okay.
Yeah. For
How about
example-
your in-laws? Have you
Yeah.
asked them? Because my in-laws, I have lived with them. I'm still living with them. I don't know. The only hobby that they actually do share together is like they turned out the beautiful front lawn of the house and they turned it upside down and made it into a vegetable and fruit garden.
Oh, that's a great hobby. That's a great
Yeah.
hobby because double benefit. It looks gorgeous and you actually get food from it, right?
Yeah.
But I lived with my mother-in-law for a time and, when she wasn't looking after the children, I told her, you can go outside and you can do your hobbies. But she told me, I don't have any hobbies. I just like to wear a mask pack, sit at home, watch the morning dramas. And
a mask pack.
a mask pack,
Okay.
slap it on the face. That's the perfect gift for Korean in-laws, by the way, for those listening. But she had been living this way for nearly 40 years because, that's all she ever knew. She was often told, she also mentioned this to me, that, you raise kids, you focus on kids. That's the time you got to sacrifice and not
Yeah.
spend time for yourself. But kind of the new generation believes parents' mental health is also important. So we need those hobbies, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, happy parents, happy kids, happy kids, happy parents. It all goes the same
It
way.
But I want to start with that, actually. I want to start with what are the most popular hobbies here in South Korea.
Okay.
The statistics I found, the most recent ones from 2019. But do you want to take a guess? In Korea, what is the most popular hobby across all ages?
Across all ages.
All ages. So we could say maybe teenagers up to the elderly as the
Okay.
range.
Now, I would think it has got something to do with, I think the landmass of Korea actually, because it's so mountainous. 70% mountain here in Korea. Everyone goes to the mountain, which I don't honestly consider a mountain because
hill.
it's a hill, not a mountain. Because when you say you're going mountain trekking in the Philippines, it will take you 2 to 3 or 4 days or a week to even go over one. So this is something that I do. I think it's trekking, right?
Right. Trekking and hiking.
But I don't like it.
You don't like it? That's not your hobby, right?
Yeah, that's not my hobby.
Right. That is the most popular because, yeah, you're exactly right. Korea is 70% mountainous. You don't have to go far from your home to find a kind of mountain or
Yeah.
a small hill.
There's always a mountain somewhere.
Yeah, and
Where
it's
you
the
live.
perfect and also free hobby, right? You don't really have to invest a lot of money into hiking.
Okay.
But of course, we know it's more popular with the older crowd. They've got the
course.
gear and everything.
Yeah, they're so colorful. You should see them.
Yes, they've got the walking sticks. But this is number one. And then the number two most popular is learning a language as a
Learning
hobby.
A language.
Right.
Okay.
Learning
Oh,
a
it
language.
makes sense.
Yeah. Learning a language. And actually, the third one is investment.
Okay.
Stocks.
Stocks.
Yes.
Well, honestly, we actually have someone who sent us a message earlier on that they wanted to learn Vietnamese because they wanted to teach Korean in Vietnam once they retire. So,
Oh.
I would understand about the language learning. Now, but how is it around the world? I mean, in Korea, we have like the most mountain trekking or hiking, and then we have learning languages, and then we have stocks or investment. How
Right.
about around the world?
Around the world. So I was so curious, there are so many countries and it is kind of based on the geography, the topography, like in Korea's case. But you want to take a guess, what is the most popular hobby in the entire world amongst every country?
I wish it's something that you don't actually have to do much.
Don't have to do much. Well, the most popular hobby worldwide is reading.
See, you don't have to do much. You just have to sit down, put your butt somewhere and sit down and then just open a book.
Well, that's a struggle for some people too. But,
Okay.
books are pretty much available anywhere, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like that is still the most popular hobby worldwide. People love to curl up with a blanket and a book or study something new. So,
Are we still talking about, the same, paper books? Because a lot of people are now into audio reading, or listening to
that's
books.
true. The
Not reading.
statistics were not specific about that.
Yeah, it's either reading books or listening to books.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
I guess books, reading in all forms, right? We could say audiobooks and
Okay.
you kind of have the electronic books. So, yeah, it is really interesting.
Uh-huh.
But, for me, reading, it's been a long time. As many moms know, the moms listening, right? It's hard to get 5 minutes to shower alone, let alone sit down and read a book.
Oh, that's a luxury, actually.
Yes.
When you're a mom, reading a book is actually a luxury.
It really is. I can't remember the last time, but yeah, because of the kids. But speaking of kids, since we are a kids culture club, what
Okay.
about kids' hobbies too?
Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned about like hagwons, institutions, places you can learn.
Yeah, there are a lot here in Korea. And how our parents, when it comes to competition and when it comes to wanting to have their kids do something. I mean, me and my husband basically forced my son and my daughter to take piano lessons for 10 years.
Oh, really? Well, guess what? That is one of the top
Oh,
hobbies.
wow. Okay.
Well, it was hard to distinguish because when we think about academies, right, some of them are for learning something specific, like
Yeah.
English and math, which you need to supplement with your regular school.
And I don't really know if that's a hobby.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
You're supposed to have fun.
I don't think that counts as a hobby. But as far as extracurricular activities that were popular for kids ages 6 through 10,
Okay.
regardless of gender, were taekwondo, violin, and piano, like you
Okay.
said. And you had your kids learn for 10 years straight?
Yeah.
And so, do they still know how to play the piano now?
Oh, they're good. I mean, my daughter
Oh.
actually plays for the church. I mean, she's the one who's playing the piano for the church. So yeah, they still love it. But yeah, I don't know. It's something that we have wanted to do. I tried it. I failed. My husband wanted to, but they did not have the finances to actually send him to a hagwon way back when he was young. So we basically just poured it onto our two kids.
A lot of parents do that too. They
Yeah.
they exactly like I wanted to learn piano, so my child should also learn piano. But that's great because many people tell me, yeah, I learned how to play piano when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
now
I can't.
I
I
can't
don't remember.
Totally forget.
The thing is, the kids have different, I would think they have a different, understanding of what their hobbies is. Because everything that you have to go to hagwon to is actually for learning, not a hobby.
Right. They don't feel like it's a hobby. So,
Yeah.
this is just my personal experience as a teacher. One of the top questions I ask, what's your hobby? The real answer is most kids will say playing mobile games.
Yeah.
And a lot of young boys like playing soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in Korea, I think those are the two
Yeah.
most popular, actually.
Yeah, actually for kids, because sometimes we actually just think that, it's a hobby. For adults, when you have to go to hagwons to learn something as a hobby, then that's a hobby. But for kids, when you have to actually send them to hagwons, that's not a hobby for them. I don't think they consider that a hobby here in Korea, right?
Right. Well, piano's a great one, but that's right. Well, I want to ask you that too, actually. You said your daughter still plays piano now. Would you say that their hobbies remain the same from when they were young until now?
Oh, they probably, if you ask them the question, what's your hobby, they will actually tell you the same answers that all of your middle school students have been telling
Still
you.
playing mobile
Still
games?
playing mobile games, still playing computer games.
Even adult children.
Even
They're still
adult
doing
children,
that.
yeah, they're still doing that. And these days, a lot of adults in their 40s, even in their 50s, I am wondering, they're still playing all of those games these days. I think it's the most, I don't know, it's the easiest one to actually find because we all have a phone. sort of.
Right.
Yeah.
It kills time, but whether it be academies or other hobbies, right? Mothers themselves, they often find they have a busy schedule. It's not even their own schedule.
Yeah.
They spend so much time managing these academy schedules.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And a lot of them say, the time between each schedule is very short. There's not enough time to actually get their own hobby.
Okay.
So also when I just talk to local mothers here in Korea, a lot of them say my hobby is drinking coffee.
Oh,
Just go to a
wow.
cafe, drink some coffee, and talk to other moms. So,
Okay.
yeah, it seems to be an easy hobby, but you could call that a hobby too.
Well, if you don't actually have a lot of time and if you enjoy it, the thing with hobbies, it's supposed to, it's supposed to relieve stress. It's supposed to help you, be happy, be lightheaded at some point. So I think that works as well, having coffee, talking with other moms out there, as long as it's not about competition, well, that's going to be
Right.
fine. I would think so.
That happens
Right?
too, yes. But, if you don't have a particular hobby right now, you don't have to feel bad. I listed, the first, second, and third most popular hobbies in Korea.
Yeah.
But do you know what the fourth one is?
The fourth one.
The fourth one is doing nothing.
Oh, I love that.
Simply relaxing. And then they categorize that as a hobby. So if your hobby is relaxing, that is also a perfectly good hobby.
Yeah, these days there's a lot like 불멍, something like that.
Oh, right.
Everything with mong in it, you actually don't have to do anything. You just
Right.
have to stare at it and just be lost in space.
Right,
Staring at the
fire.
fire, staring at water, staring at the sky. No, you don't actually have to do something, and that is considered a hobby these days as well. Too.
Right, that's
Right?
right. So you can just enjoy your hobbies as you see fit. Just don't stress yourself out. And like you mentioned, as long as you enjoy it, it counts.
Yeah, there we
Yes.
go. As long as you enjoy it, that's something. If you enjoy doing nothing, then that's your hobby. That's my hobby as well from now on.
Yes.
Anyway, Feli says, hello, Jem. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Feli.
Well, thank you everyone for sharing your hobbies here on Diverse Voices. And that's actually the end of the show for us. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Men on Air, of course, is coming up next after this song. This is Jimmy with 산책. And this has been Jasmine. Join us once again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Love you all. I'm saying goodbye with Jem here in the studio. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.